The tension was palpable before the cameras even rolled. Social media was buzzing. Whispers of a brewing confrontation had fans on the edge of their seats. And the rumor mill was working overtime. K. Michelle had thrown what many considered the first verbal punch, questioning Rasheeda's marriage in a series of pointed posts and interviews that left no room for ambiguity. Kirk ain't loyal, she had said, her words sharp, her tone dripping with accusation. Immediately, the internet exploded. Fans were shocked. The family was left divided, and emotions ran high across every corner of social media. Everyone wanted to know, was there truth behind the claims, or was this just another reality TV stunt? But Rasheeda wasn't going to sit quietly in the shadow of speculation. Known for her fiery personality and refusal to let anyone question her authority or her relationship, she fired back in a statement that left everyone reeling. "Kirk ain't leaving me. Not now. Not ever," she declared, her words bold and unyielding. The drama escalated instantly. Clips of her response flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, leaving fans scrambling to pick sides. Supporters of Rasheeda rallied behind her, declaring loyalty and promising to defend her honor, while K. Michelle's fans dissected every nuance of her original comments. Certain there was more beneath the surface, the scene was set for an explosive showdown. Tensions were high, cameras were rolling, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Everyone was asking the same question: how would Kirk react to this public war of words? Would Rasheeda's declaration hold, or would K. Michelle push the narrative even further, igniting a storm of betrayal, heartbreak, and scandal that could consume everyone involved? Tonight, the truth, or at least the most dramatic version of it, would finally unfold. Fans, grab your popcorn. Emotions are running hotter than ever. Alliances are shifting by the minute, and nothing about this story is predictable. One thing is certain: the world is watching, and Rasheeda has just drawn her line in the sand. The tension between Rasheeda and K. Michelle had been simmering for weeks, invisible to the casual observer but intensely felt by anyone close to the situation. Fans had caught glimpses on social media, subtle digs in interviews, cryptic comments during public appearances, but no one expected it to erupt into the spectacle it was becoming. The rumor that K. Michelle had suggested Kirk was unfaithful was only the spark. What followed was a firestorm of words, emotions, and alliances, leaving everyone wondering how far the drama would go. Rasheeda, known for her sharp wit and protective nature, refused to let her family or her marriage be the subject of gossip and insinuation. "Kirk ain't leaving me," she stated emphatically, a declaration that seemed to both reassure her supporters and challenge her critics. But behind that confident front, there were layers of tension, fear, and determination that few could see, the kind that fuels reality TV narratives and keeps audiences hooked for hours on end. Fans were quick to react. Social media exploded with reactions, some defending Rasheeda vehemently, others siding with K. Michelle, each post building upon the last, creating a web of speculation and heated debate. Emotions ran high as friends and family weighed in, some offering cautious support, others warning of potential consequences. The family was left divided. Private conversations leaked online. Screenshots of text messages circulated, and every comment was dissected for hidden meaning. Rasheeda's closest allies knew her well enough to see the underlying determination in her statements. She wasn't just defending a marriage, she was defending her sense of self, her reputation, and her narrative in a world where perception was everything. The confrontation didn't stay contained to social media. Late-night interviews, exclusive features, and even appearances on rival networks became stages for verbal skirmishes. K. Michelle's tone was calculated, her words chosen to provoke without outright accusation, but Rasheeda's responses were equally deliberate. "You think you know my life. You don't know the half of it," she said in one interview, her voice firm yet layered with the kind of controlled fury that left viewers leaning forward, eager to see the next move. The intensity was palpable, as if every statement was a chess piece on a board where every misstep could be fatal. The tension escalated further when mutual friends, caught between loyalty and fear of being dragged into the storm, began to share insider details. Some painted Rasheeda as a victim of unwarranted slander, while others hinted at cracks in her marriage that no one had previously acknowledged. Each revelation, true or exaggerated, fueled the drama, giving fans a narrative that was impossible to resist. Amid the public spectacle, the private moments were even more dramatic. Rasheeda and Kirk had long been considered a strong couple, their relationship portrayed as unshakable on social media and in public appearances. But in the wake of K. Michelle's comments, moments of doubt and tension surfaced, captured in candid photos and snippets of conversation that fans dissected relentlessly. Arguments behind closed doors, whispered conversations at family gatherings, and fleeting expressions of frustration in interviews created a sense of authenticity that only heightened the stakes. Rasheeda's family, deeply protective yet painfully aware of the public eye, struggled to maintain composure while defending her honor. Every interaction, every sigh, every sideways glance became a piece of the unfolding narrative, evidence for fans to interpret and debate endlessly. The drama reached its peak when a private video, allegedly, showing a confrontation between Rasheeda and K. Michelle, leaked online. The footage was grainy, the voices raised, and the tension undeniable. Rasheeda's voice rang with authority and hurt simultaneously. "I won't let you disrespect my family or my marriage. Kirk and I are stronger than your words." K. Michelle, equally passionate, countered with measured defiance, insisting that her comments were merely observations, though the intensity in her eyes betrayed otherwise. The fans' reactions were instantaneous. Comments, reposts, memes, and videos analyzing every detail flooded platforms. Supporters of Rasheeda rallied behind her, pointing to every word, gesture, and look as proof of her unwavering loyalty and strength. Critics, however, argued that the confrontation revealed underlying issues that had long been kept private. The debate raged across forums, live streams, and talk shows, amplifying the drama with each passing hour. Behind the scenes, alliances shifted unpredictably. Friends who had once remained neutral now took sides, their loyalties tested under the glare of public scrutiny. Some feared being caught in the crossfire, choosing silence, while others actively fueled speculation for personal gain or attention. Emotions ran high at private gatherings, with whispered warnings, tense stares, and moments of open confrontation adding fuel to the fire. Rasheeda's inner circle, while loyal, began to question how far the feud might go and what impact it could have on her public image and personal life. The pressure was immense. Every decision, every statement, every appearance was scrutinized and critiqued. It was a delicate balancing act, and one misstep could tip the scales of public perception entirely. The public, meanwhile, could not get enough. Fans dissected every social media post, every interview, and every interaction, turning the drama into a narrative that felt personal and immediate. Hashtags trended, debates went viral, and commentary flowed freely, with supporters and detractors alike weighing in on what they perceived as the moral high ground. The story expanded beyond the central figures, drawing in secondary characters, friends, and even rival reality TV personalities, each with a vested interest in the unfolding chaos. The dynamic became increasingly complex, with alliances forming and dissolving, secrets hinted at and exposed, and the line between reality and performance blurring at every turn. Amid the chaos, Rasheeda's resilience became a focal point. Her determination to protect her marriage, assert her autonomy, and maintain control over her narrative showcased a depth of character that fans and critics alike could not ignore. The intensity of the conflict, combined with the high stakes and personal investment, created an environment where every action mattered, every word had weight, and every glance was interpreted through the lens of drama and tension. The story, already explosive, continued to escalate, leaving fans on the edge of their seats, hungry for the next revelation, the next confrontation, the next twist in a saga that seemed far from resolution. And so, as the feud raged on, Rasheeda stood firm, her voice unwavering, her message clear. Kirk was by her side, and no amount of speculation, accusation, or manipulation could change that. The stage was set for further confrontations, more revelations, and endless debate. Emotions remained high, alliances remained fragile, and the audience remained captivated, knowing that in this battle of words, hearts, and loyalties, anything could happen next. And every move mattered more than ever. The intensity of the feud between Rasheeda and K. Michelle didn't wane. It only grew sharper as the days went by, each public statement igniting new waves of speculation. Social media became a battlefield where fans clashed relentlessly, defending their chosen side while scrutinizing every minor gesture for hidden meaning. Rasheeda, ever conscious of her public image, carefully curated her posts, each one a subtle mix of defiance, confidence, and vulnerability, designed to assert her control over the narrative. Every photo of her with Kirk, every clip of them laughing together, was dissected as evidence of unwavering loyalty. While K. Michelle's sharp commentary continued to stoke intrigue, the public's fascination was insatiable, the drama evolving into a story that seemed bigger than life itself. In the midst of the chaos, private tensions escalated. Rasheeda and Kirk faced moments of silent frustration. Brief glances exchanged over disagreements that had nothing to do with K. Michelle, but everything to do with the pressure surrounding them. Friends and family, though supportive, struggled to mediate, aware that one wrong word could be blown out of proportion. Every interaction, every conversation, carried the weight of the public eye, and the couple had to navigate both genuine personal conflicts and the amplified scrutiny of reality TV-style drama. In one particularly tense evening, Rasheeda confronted Kirk over the constant invasion of their private life, her voice a mixture of fear, anger, and love. "I need you here with me, fully present, not just for the cameras," she said. And Kirk, visibly conflicted, nodded, knowing the scrutiny wouldn't end anytime soon. Meanwhile, Michelle capitalized on the momentum. Her interviews, filled with hints of insider knowledge, kept the audience guessing. She spoke in a tone that balanced critique with curiosity, leaving listeners questioning the stability of Rasheeda's marriage. Each remark, though subtle, seemed loaded with potential explosive consequences. Fans speculated endlessly. Was there truth to her insinuations? Were cracks forming behind the perfect public facade? The tension escalated further when an anonymous source leaked messages allegedly exchanged between Michelle and mutual friends, revealing private opinions and secret observations. The authenticity of the leaks was debated endlessly online, but the mere possibility added another layer to the narrative, leaving Rasheeda and her team scrambling to contain the fallout. Family dynamics grew increasingly strained as the feud unfolded. Rasheeda's relatives, deeply loyal but increasingly frustrated by the media frenzy, found themselves caught between defending her and avoiding public controversy. Heated conversations took place in private rooms. Arguments erupted over the best way to handle leaks and statements, and emotions ran high as family members expressed both concern and frustration. The pressure extended to close friends as well, who struggled to balance loyalty to Rasheeda with their own reputations and public perception. Alliances shifted frequently, some choosing to distance themselves from the drama, others actively fueling it to maintain relevance. Every decision, every word, became strategic in a war where personal relationships were intertwined with public image, and the cost of miscalculation was potentially catastrophic. As the feud intensified, unexpected twists kept the public glued to the unfolding story. Rumors of secret meetings, hidden confrontations, and even reconciliations circulated endlessly, each claim sparking waves of online debate. One particularly shocking revelation involved a mutual friend allegedly overhearing a private conversation between Rasheeda and Michelle, where accusations were leveled, tears were shed, and ultimatums were issued. The details, though unverified, spread like wildfire across social platforms, each new retelling adding dramatic flair and heightening the stakes. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided, unsure of what to believe or how to respond. In this charged atmosphere, every public appearance became a performance. Rasheeda's interviews were measured yet emotionally charged, her words carefully crafted to assert dominance while protecting her personal life. She spoke with a confidence that suggested unshakable strength, but subtle expressions hinted at the emotional toll the feud had taken. Michelle, meanwhile, remained equally strategic, her comments calculated to provoke curiosity and tension without crossing lines that could harm her own public image. The interplay between them created a narrative rich with suspense, tension, and unpredictable developments, captivating audiences and keeping the drama in constant motion. The stakes grew even higher when rumors of an upcoming live confrontation emerged. Fans speculated wildly. Would Rasheeda and Michelle finally face each other on a televised stage? Could Kirk's presence change the dynamics? Would apologies be offered, or would words escalate into irreparable conflict? Each scenario played out endlessly in online discussions, videos, and fan theories. Behind the scenes, the team surrounding Rasheeda prepared carefully, anticipating every possible twist, drafting statements, and managing appearances to ensure that she maintained control over the narrative. The anticipation was palpable, creating a sense of suspense that only heightened the emotional intensity of the ongoing drama. Through it all, Rasheeda's commitment to her marriage remained unwavering, even amid public speculation, personal challenges, and relentless commentary. She consistently reinforced her bond with Kirk. Moments captured by paparazzi showed private gestures of affection, subtle yet powerful, evidence to supporters that the couple's foundation remains strong despite external pressures. The public, in turn, celebrated these moments, creating a feedback loop of validation and attention that fueled both the feud and Rasheeda's narrative control. The interplay between private resilience and public performance highlighted the complexity of the situation, making it a story not just about confrontation, but about loyalty, strength, and the intricate dance of managing personal relationships in the glare of public scrutiny. As the days turned into weeks, the drama showed no signs of slowing. Each new statement, leak, and public appearance added layers of tension, intrigue, and suspense. Fans were captivated, family dynamics remained fragile, and alliances continued to shift unpredictably. Rasheeda's ability to navigate the storm, maintain her composure, and assert control over her narrative demonstrated both her strategic acumen and emotional resilience. In this high-stakes world of public scrutiny, reality TV-style confrontations, and intense personal emotions, every move mattered, every word carried weight, and the audience remained enthralled, hungry for the next twist, the next revelation, the next moment of pure, unfiltered drama. The story, far from reaching its conclusion, had only begun to unfold. Rasheeda's declaration, her unwavering stance, and the ongoing tension with K. Michelle created a narrative that combined elements of loyalty, betrayal, and emotional intensity in ways that captivated fans and kept them endlessly engaged. Emotions ran high, alliances shifted, and the stakes were higher than ever, ensuring that every new development would be scrutinized, dissected, and debated with fervor. The feud had become a spectacle, a dramatic performance of personal and public stakes, where every glance, every word, every social media post contributed to a story that refused to end, leaving audiences on edge, captivated, and eager for what would come next. The ripple effects of Rasheeda and K. Michelle's escalating feud extended far beyond the two women at the center. Friends, acquaintances, and even former collaborators were suddenly drawn into the drama, each interaction carrying potential implications for alliances, reputations, and public perception. Social media platforms became arenas of constant commentary and speculation, with hashtags trending, live discussions erupting, and reaction videos flooding YouTube as fans dissected every clip, statement, and expression. The public's fascination reached a fever pitch. Every movement by either Rasheeda or K. Michelle was magnified, analyzed, and debated endlessly. Some fans were loyal to Rasheeda, rallying behind her declaration that Kirk ain't leaving me, while others speculated that cracks might appear, watching for any signs of vulnerability that could tip the narrative in K. Michelle's favor. Behind the scenes, Rasheeda and Kirk navigated a delicate balance. The public feud imposed a strain that was hard to quantify, blending personal grievances with strategic appearances meant to protect their image. Arguments arose over the simplest matters: timing of public statements, the content of social media posts, and even minor gestures that could be misinterpreted by an audience hungry for drama. "We have to show them unity," Rasheeda told Kirk during a particularly tense evening, her voice low but firm. "They're looking for cracks, and we can't give them anything." Kirk nodded, understanding that their personal privacy had become a strategic asset, one that required constant vigilance and careful orchestration. Meanwhile, K. Michelle continued to stoke curiosity. Her interviews, social media posts, and occasional public appearances were calculated to suggest insider knowledge without revealing specifics. Each statement left room for interpretation, fueling rumors and creating a sense of suspense that kept fans engaged. Anonymous sources allegedly connected to her camp hinted at conversations that supposedly revealed hidden tensions, while snippets of dialogue, whether taken out of context or fabricated, spread rapidly online. The narrative became increasingly complex, a layered web of accusation, speculation, and public intrigue that blurred the lines between fact and performance. Fans, hungry for every detail, dissected each revelation, building elaborate theories about hidden alliances, secret confrontations, and potential reconciliations. Family and close friends became pivotal players in the unfolding saga. Some acted as mediators, attempting to quell misunderstandings before they escalated publicly, while others inadvertently or sometimes deliberately fueled the fire. Tensions flared during private gatherings, with whispered conversations and heated debates spilling over into semi-public moments that were quickly captured and circulated online. Rasheeda's relatives were protective yet wary, fully aware that any misstep could be exploited by those looking to escalate the conflict further. Even minor comments, gestures, or expressions were analyzed for hidden meaning, adding layers of tension to already strained relationships. The intersection of personal loyalty and public image created a pressure cooker environment where every interaction had amplified significance. Unexpected twists added volatility to the situation. A leaked audio clip, purporting to capture a private exchange between Rasheeda and K. Michelle, became a flashpoint, drawing immediate attention and sparking fierce debate. The recording, though difficult to verify, was dissected line by line across platforms, with every pause, inflection, and word scrutinized for intent and meaning. Supporters of Rasheeda hailed it as proof of her integrity and loyalty, while skeptics suggested it revealed vulnerabilities, cracks in the marriage, or hidden resentments that Michelle had expertly teased into the public consciousness. The uncertainty created a constant state of tension, leaving fans, family, and associates on edge, anticipating the next revelation that might tilt the balance of the feud. As the public narrative evolved, the emotional toll on Rasheeda became increasingly visible, though she maintained a confident front, subtle restrained smiles, moments of pause during interviews, and quiet discussions with Kirk hinted at the psychological weight of the ongoing conflict. The pressure was compounded by relentless social media scrutiny, paparazzi attention, and the constant need to perform while preserving authenticity. Rasheeda's strength became a focal point for fans and critics alike, a testament to her ability to navigate personal vulnerability in the glare of public spectacle. Every calculated statement, carefully staged photo, and measured response was part of a larger strategy to maintain control over her story and protect both her marriage and her personal brand. Meanwhile, Michelle's tactics continued to introduce new layers of intrigue. By suggesting but never confirming specifics, she maintained an air of unpredictability that kept fans guessing. Questions circulated. Would there be a face-to-face confrontation? Could hidden alliances shift the narrative? Were there private truths being withheld that would change everything? The ambiguity created an ongoing sense of suspense, compelling the audience to follow every development closely, anticipating the next escalation, revelation, or strategic maneuver. The pressure cooker environment reached a new intensity when a high-profile social media influencer claimed to have insider information about the feud, posting a video that outlined alleged secret conversations, undisclosed tensions, and potential betrayals. The clip went viral instantly, generating hundreds of thousands of views within hours. Reactions were swift and polarized. Supporters of Rasheeda defended her fiercely, interpreting the video as confirmation of her loyalty and strength, while Michelle's followers argued that it exposed underlying issues and hinted at unspoken truths. The drama had now transcended its original boundaries, incorporating not only the central figures but also a broader network of friends, family, and fans, all engaged in the unfolding spectacle. Amid the chaos, Rasheeda's relationship with Kirk remained a focal point. Despite the public spectacle, private moments revealed resilience and commitment. Candid photos, seemingly innocuous social media posts, and brief glimpses of affection captured by paparazzi reinforced the narrative of unity and loyalty. Each instance provided evidence for fans to rally around, creating a feedback loop of attention, support, and narrative reinforcement. Rasheeda's ability to balance the personal and public aspects of her life, maintain composure, and assert control over her story demonstrated a sophisticated understanding of both emotional intelligence and the mechanics of public perception. As the days passed, the feud continued to escalate, with each new post, interview, and interaction adding layers of suspense and intrigue. Alliances shifted, rumors circulated, and public attention remained laser-focused on the unfolding drama. Rasheeda's resilience, strategic thinking, and emotional depth became increasingly evident as she navigated a landscape defined by both personal stakes and public scrutiny. The intensity of the conflict, the unpredictability of Michelle's tactics, and the engagement of fans, friends, and family created a narrative that was both complex and compelling, ensuring that audiences remained captivated, hungry for every new development, and invested in the eventual outcome. In this highly charged atmosphere, every decision mattered. Every post, interview, and statement carried weight, shaping public perception and influencing alliances. Rasheeda's determination to maintain control over her narrative, protect her marriage, and assert her emotional strength became central to the story, providing both dramatic tension and a sense of continuity for fans. The interplay between personal vulnerability, strategic performance, and public scrutiny created a dynamic narrative rich with suspense, conflict, and emotional intensity, ensuring that the feud remained a focal point of public fascination and debate. Even as speculations swirled and rumors spread, Rasheeda's focus remained clear. Her commitment to Kirk, her awareness of the public eye, and her strategic handling of every interaction underscored a narrative of strength, loyalty, and resilience. Fans, captivated by the unfolding drama, remained engaged, analyzing every detail, debating every claim, and eagerly anticipating the next revelation. In this ongoing saga, every twist, every confrontation, and every subtle gesture added depth and complexity, ensuring that the story would continue to unfold with unpredictability, emotion, and relentless suspense. The feud, far from resolving, had entered a new phase of intensity. Social media speculation, media coverage, and private tensions combined to create a narrative that was unpredictable, emotionally charged, and impossible for audiences to ignore. Rasheeda's unwavering stance, strategic acumen, and emotional resilience allowed her to navigate the storm while maintaining her personal integrity. Her marriage, and her public image, fans remained captivated, alliances shifted unpredictably, and the drama continued to escalate, ensuring that every new development would be met with anticipation, analysis, and fervent discussion. Even in moments of quiet reflection, the weight of the feud was palpable. Rasheeda and Kirk had to negotiate not only their personal emotions but also the amplified scrutiny of a public hungry for conflict, loyalty, and resolution. Every word mattered, every gesture was observed, and every interaction carried significance far beyond its immediate context. The story, a blend of personal struggle, public performance, and strategic maneuvering, had grown into a saga of emotional complexity, suspense, and dramatic intensity, leaving fans eager for the next chapter, the next revelation, and the next confrontation that would continue to define this ongoing and captivating feud. The public fascination with Rasheeda and K. Michelle's ongoing feud had now reached a level that few could have anticipated. Every post, every interview, every subtle gesture was scrutinized, dissected, and debated by fans and media alike. The intensity of social media coverage created an atmosphere where private moments were amplified into public spectacles, and even the smallest detail could spark a frenzy of speculation. Rasheeda's careful curation of her public image became a central focus, with every photo, story, and comment analyzed for hidden meaning or possible evidence of the truth behind K. Michelle's claims. Fans were enthralled, emotions ran high, and alliances within the fanbase shifted unpredictably, reflecting the volatility of the feud itself. Private tensions escalated alongside the public drama. Rasheeda and Kirk found themselves navigating a delicate balance between personal emotions and the amplified scrutiny of their lives. Small disagreements, previously inconsequential, now carried significant weight, as any perceived tension could be interpreted as evidence of instability in the relationship. In one intense evening, Rasheeda confronted Kirk about the intrusion of outsiders into their private affairs. "We can't let them define us," she said, her voice a mixture of frustration and determination. Kirk, understanding the stakes, reassured her, but the strain was visible in the subtle tension of their interactions. The couple's ability to maintain unity in the face of relentless scrutiny became a compelling element of the unfolding narrative, drawing fans further into their story. Meanwhile, K. Michelle's strategic commentary continued to stir the pot. Each subtle insinuation, each carefully worded observation, added layers of intrigue, fueling fan speculation and media coverage. Anonymous sources purportedly connected to her camp shared cryptic messages, hinting at undisclosed tensions and private conversations, creating a sense of suspense that kept audiences on edge. The public, eager for revelations, dissected every detail, generating theories about secret alliances, hidden conflicts, and potential betrayals. The drama extended beyond the central figures, encompassing friends, family members, and acquaintances, each caught in a complex web of loyalty, rumor, and public scrutiny. Family dynamics grew increasingly tense. Rasheeda's relatives, deeply invested in her well-being, struggled to navigate the fallout from public statements and leaked information. Heated private conversations reflected both concern and frustration, as family members debated the best course of action to protect her reputation and maintain unity. Close friends experienced similar pressures, balancing loyalty to Rasheeda with the desire to avoid becoming embroiled in the drama themselves. The constant scrutiny and shifting alliances created an environment of uncertainty, where even minor gestures or comments were loaded with significance, contributing to an ever-escalating narrative of tension and suspense. Unexpected developments intensified the situation further. Rumors of secret meetings and behind-the-scenes confrontations circulated widely, generating excitement and speculation among fans. One particularly sensational leak suggested that Rasheeda and K. Michelle had engaged in a private exchange that escalated into a heated argument, complete with accusations, tears, and ultimatums. The footage, though unverified, was analyzed in excruciating detail by commentators online, each interpretation adding to the perception of an irreconcilable conflict. Supporters of Rasheeda hailed the alleged exchange as evidence of her integrity and resilience, while detractors suggested it revealed vulnerabilities and potential cracks in the marriage, creating yet another layer of tension in the already complex feud. The emotional toll on Rasheeda became increasingly visible, although she projected confidence in public appearances. Subtle cues, strained smiles, moments of hesitation during interviews, and quiet conversations with Kirk hinted at the weight of the ongoing conflict. The relentless scrutiny, combined with the pressure to perform while remaining authentic, created a high-stakes environment where every action mattered. Rasheeda's ability to navigate these challenges, asserting control over her narrative while maintaining emotional composure, became a focal point for both fans and critics, highlighting her strength and strategic acumen. K. Michelle's continued involvement ensured that unpredictability remained a constant. Her measured yet provocative statements kept audiences guessing, while hints of undisclosed information suggested potential future revelations. Fans speculated endlessly. Would there be a televised confrontation? Could private discussions alter the trajectory of the feud? Were there hidden truths waiting to emerge? The ambiguity created suspense, keeping viewers invested and eager for the next development. Each interaction, whether direct or indirect, contributed to a sense of anticipation that sustained engagement and heightened the emotional intensity of the narrative. The introduction of high-profile influencers and media personalities further amplified the drama. Viral videos, commentary posts, and reaction content created a feedback loop of speculation and attention, drawing new audiences into the conflict. Claims of insider knowledge, whether true or fabricated, spread rapidly, fueling debates and polarizing opinions. Rasheeda supporters interpreted these developments as validation of her resilience and loyalty, while K. Michelle's audience considered them potential indicators of hidden truths. The interplay between personal conflict, public perception, and media amplification created a narrative that was dynamic, unpredictable, and endlessly compelling. Amid the public spectacle, Rasheeda's commitment to Kirk remained a central theme. Candid moments captured by photographers and fans offered glimpses of unity, affection, and mutual support, reinforcing the perception of a strong partnership. Each gesture, however small, became symbolic, evidence that Rasheeda's declaration of unwavering loyalty was not merely performative but rooted in genuine commitment. The public's reaction to these moments created a cycle of validation, reinforcing Rasheeda's narrative and keeping fans engaged in the ongoing drama. As the story unfolded, every decision, statement, and appearance took on heightened significance. Rasheeda's strategic approach to managing public perception, combined with her emotional resilience, allowed her to maintain control over the narrative despite the relentless pressure. The feud's complexity, fueled by rumors, speculation, and high-stakes personal dynamics, ensured that audiences remained captivated, analyzing each development and eagerly anticipating the next twist. The emotional intensity, unpredictability, and layered conflicts created a narrative that was both compelling and immersive, drawing fans deeply into the world of personal and public drama surrounding Rasheeda, K. Michelle, and the intricacies of their relationships. In this environment, the stakes remained high. Every post, every comment, and every appearance carried the potential to shift perceptions, alter alliances, or introduce new conflicts. Rasheeda's steadfast approach, emphasizing loyalty, strength, and narrative control, became a central anchor in the unfolding drama, providing continuity amidst chaos. Fans, invested in both the personal and public dimensions of the story, remained engaged, dissecting every detail and anticipating the next revelation. The feud, far from resolved, continued to escalate, ensuring that each new development would be met with intense scrutiny, passionate debate, and unwavering attention from an audience captivated by the unfolding spectacle. Even during quieter moments, the weight of the conflict was palpable. Rasheeda and Kirk had to navigate not only their personal emotions but also the amplified scrutiny of a public fascinated by every nuance of their interactions. Every word, gesture, and social media post carried significance, shaping public perception and influencing alliances. The story, blending personal struggle with public performance and strategic maneuvering, had grown into a saga of emotional complexity, suspense, and dramatic intensity. Fans remained captivated, eager for the next revelation, and invested in the unfolding narrative, ensuring that the drama surrounding Rasheeda and K. Michelle would continue to dominate conversations, speculation, and media coverage for the foreseeable future. The feud between Rasheeda and K. Michelle continued to escalate, showing no signs of slowing down. Each day seemed to bring a new revelation, a new rumor, or a new wave of public commentary that further intensified the drama. Social media remained ablaze, with fans dissecting every post, analyzing every interaction, and debating endlessly over who was in the right. Hashtags related to the feud trended constantly. Reaction videos went viral within hours, and live streams dissecting every development drew huge audiences. The public's fascination with the situation only heightened the tension, as the story was no longer just about personal grievances, had become a spectacle of loyalty, betrayal, and emotional warfare. Behind closed doors, Rasheeda and Kirk navigated the mounting pressures with careful attention. Every decision had to consider both personal integrity and public perception. Small disagreements now carried amplified significance. A minor argument could be interpreted as a major fracture in the relationship by an eager and watchful audience. In one particularly tense evening, Rasheeda and Kirk had a private discussion about a leaked comment from K. Michelle. "We can't let them twist everything we do," Rasheeda said, her voice tinged with frustration and resolve. Kirk, understanding the high stakes, reassured her, but the weight of constant scrutiny was unmistakable. The couple's ability to maintain unity in the face of relentless attention was becoming a central part of the unfolding. Narrativek. Michelle, meanwhile, maintained a calculated approach. Her statements in interviews and social media posts were carefully measured to provoke curiosity and keep the drama alive without overtly escalating the conflict. Every insinuation, every hint of insider knowledge, fueled speculation and drew attention. Anonymous sources allegedly connected to her camp added to the suspense, hinting at private conversations and undisclosed tensions. The ambiguity of these claims kept the public engaged, ensuring that anticipation remained high for the next explosive development. Fans speculated endlessly, weighing the credibility of leaks, messages, and insider information, which only deepened the complexity of the feud. Family dynamics were increasingly strained as the public spectacle continued. Rasheeda's relatives, deeply invested in her well-being, found themselves balancing loyalty with the need to manage public perception. Heated discussions and tense private moments became common as family members debated the best ways to respond to media coverage and online commentary. Close friends experienced similar pressures, caught between loyalty and self-preservation. Even seemingly insignificant actions or remarks could be magnified and misinterpreted, adding layers of tension to personal relationships and complicating the management of the feud. Unexpected twists added volatility to the ongoing conflict. Rumors of secret meetings and private confrontations spread rapidly, generating excitement and speculation among fans. One particularly sensational report suggested that Rasheeda and K. Michelle had engaged in a heated exchange at a social event, with accusations, tears, and ultimatums allegedly exchanged. Though unverified, the account spread quickly across platforms, with fans dissecting every claimed detail. Supporters of Rasheeda viewed the account as proof of her unwavering loyalty and strength, while K. Michelle's supporters interpreted it as evidence of hidden tension and potential vulnerability. The line between fact and fabrication blurred, intensifying the suspense and keeping audiences captivated. The emotional toll on Rasheeda became increasingly evident. Though she projected confidence publicly, subtle signs strained smiles. Brief hesitations in interviews, quiet conversations with Kirk hinted at the stress caused by the ongoing conflict. The combination of relentless media attention, social media scrutiny, and personal strain created a high-pressure environment where every action and statement mattered. Rasheeda's ability to maintain composure while asserting control over her narrative showcased her strategic and emotional resilience, reinforcing her position in the public eye while maintaining authenticity. K. Michelle's continued involvement ensured the feud remained unpredictable. Her carefully crafted hints and suggestions left room for speculation, keeping the audience engaged and eager for the next revelation. Fans questioned whether there would be a live confrontation, if undisclosed conversations could shift the dynamics, or if new truths might emerge. This uncertainty maintained suspense and sustained engagement, with audiences analyzing every development for clues and anticipating dramatic media coverage further amplified the stakes. High-profile influencers, online commentators, and entertainment journalists added commentary, analysis, and speculation, often blurring the lines between reality and rumor. Viral clips and reaction videos spread rapidly, fueling debates and polarizing opinions. Supporters of Rasheeda interpreted these developments as validation of her loyalty and strength, while K. Michelle's followers considered them potential indicators of concealed issues. The expanded network of commentators and observers created a feedback loop that increased tension, drama, and public engagement. Despite the chaos, Rasheeda's relationship with Kirk remained a central focus. Publicly captured moments of affection, social media interactions, and candid photographs reinforced the perception of a strong partnership. These gestures, amplified by media and fan attention, served as symbolic evidence of unity and resilience. Rasheeda's commitment to maintaining control over her personal and public narrative highlighted her strategic thinking and emotional intelligence, allowing her to navigate a highly scrutinized environment while protecting her marriage and reputation. The unfolding story demonstrated the interplay between personal conflict, public perception, and strategic communication. Every post, interview, and interaction shaped narratives and influenced alliances. Rasheeda's steadfast approach emphasized loyalty, strength, and narrative control, creating continuity amidst chaos. Fans remained invested, analyzing every detail and eagerly anticipating the next development. The complexity and intensity of the feud ensured that each new statement or revelation carried heightened significance, maintaining suspense, drama, and engagement across all platforms. Even in quieter moments, the impact of the feud was palpable. Rasheeda and Kirk navigated both personal emotions and public scrutiny, understanding that every word, gesture, and post could shape the narrative. The saga blended personal vulnerability, strategic performance, and public observation, creating a story rich with emotional complexity, suspense, and dramatic tension. Fans remained captivated, eager for each new development, and deeply invested in the unfolding drama, which showed no signs of resolution. The stakes continued to escalate, with social media speculation, media coverage, and private tensions intertwining. Rasheeda's strategic handling of the situation, combined with her emotional resilience, enabled her to maintain authority over her narrative and protect her personal and professional interests. The ongoing conflict, fueled by rumors, insider leaks, and public scrutiny, remained unpredictable, compelling, and emotionally charged. Fans analyzed, debated, and anticipated each twist, ensuring that the saga surrounding Rasheeda, Michelle, and the intricate dynamics of their relationships continued to dominate public conversation and media attention. Amid the constant flux, Rasheeda's focus on loyalty and personal integrity remained central. Her measured responses, public displays of unity with Kirk, and careful curation of her social media presence reinforced the perception of strength and resilience. Audiences remained captivated, invested in both the public spectacle and the personal dimensions of the story. The feud's intensity, unpredictability, and emotional depth created a narrative that was immersive, engaging, and far from reaching any resolution, ensuring that fans would remain glued to every development, speculation, and revelation. The complexity of the situation underscored the delicate balance between personal life and public image. Rasheeda and Kirk had to negotiate private emotions, media scrutiny, and public perception simultaneously. Every interaction, every word, and every gesture carried amplified significance, shaping both audience understanding and fan loyalty. The narrative had evolved into a multi-layered story of strategy, resilience, and emotional conflict, with stakes that extended far beyond the original confrontation. Fans remained captivated, discussions remained heated, and anticipation for future developments remained at an all-time high. As the feud intensified, Rasheeda's ability to maintain control over her narrative became increasingly evident. Through careful planning, emotional intelligence, and strategic public engagement, she navigated the challenges of personal and public conflict, maintaining unity with Kirk while addressing the pressures imposed by Michelle's provocations. The saga, driven by speculation, strategic commentary, and complex interpersonal dynamics, ensured continuous audience engagement, heightened suspense, and relentless media attention, cementing the conflict as one of the most compelling narratives in recent reality television history. Even as minor moments of calm emerged, the story's intensity remained, underscoring the ongoing tension and stakes. Every word, post, and appearance contributed to the larger narrative, shaping perceptions and influencing fan discussions. Rasheeda's steadfast approach, combined with Kirk's support and the engagement of a captivated audience, created a dynamic and layered drama that promised further developments, surprising twists, and continued public fascination. The story was far from over, and fans remained glued to every development, eagerly anticipating the next moment of revelation, confrontation, or affirmation in this ongoing saga of loyalty, conflict, and emotional intensity. The feud between Rasheeda and Michelle entered yet another volatile phase, as fresh developments and rumors kept fans, media, and family alike on edge. Every interaction, every public appearance, and every subtle comment carried extraordinary weight. Amplified by a social media ecosystem hungry for conflict and intrigue, Rasheeda's strategic approach to handling the unfolding chaos became increasingly critical, as she balanced the need to assert her loyalty to Kirk while managing the relentless scrutiny of fans and critics. Each carefully curated post, subtle nod in interviews, and controlled gesture was analyzed in real time, creating a constant cycle of speculation, discussion, and anticipation that ensured the drama remained at peak intensity. In private, Rasheeda and Kirk faced challenges that tested both their emotional resilience and the strength of their partnership. Arguments that might have previously seemed minor now carried disproportionate significance, magnified by public perception and media coverage. One night, after an exhausting day of interviews and social media fallout, Rasheeda confronted Kirk about the emotional toll of the constant attention. "I need you to be my anchor," she said quietly, her voice a mixture of fatigue and determination. Kirk, sensing the gravity of her words, reassured her, acknowledging that their unity was as much a personal necessity as it was a public strategy. These intimate moments underscored the tension between their private lives and the relentless spotlight, emphasizing the complex dynamics at play in a relationship constantly scrutinized by fans and media. Meanwhile, Michelle continued to deploy a carefully orchestrated mix of public statements, interviews, and social media posts designed to maintain suspense and provoke curiosity. Her insinuations, veiled suggestions, and cryptic comments kept audiences guessing, generating a storm of speculation about undisclosed conflicts and potential betrayals. Anonymous sources allegedly associated with her camp added another layer of intrigue, hinting at private conversations and behind-the-scenes tensions. The ambiguity surrounding these claims kept fans deeply engaged, debating the veracity of leaks, analyzing interactions, and anticipating each potential revelation, which in turn fueled media coverage and amplified the drama further. Family and close friends became critical players in the ongoing saga. Rasheeda's relatives, deeply invested in her well-being, were pulled in multiple directions, balancing loyalty, concern, and the need to protect the family's public image. Heated private conversations often spilled into semi-public spaces, captured by media or circulated among fans, adding additional layers of tension. Close friends faced similar challenges, navigating the fine line between loyalty to Rasheeda and self-preservation in a landscape where any comment or gesture could be misinterpreted or weaponized. These dynamics added depth and complexity to the narrative, making every interaction a potential catalyst for escalation or reconciliation. Unexpected twists continued to surface, intensifying the feud. Rumors of secret meetings, private confrontations, and clandestine exchanges spread like wildfire, drawing intense public scrutiny. One viral leak suggested that Rasheeda and Michelle had a private confrontation during a high-profile event, marked by accusations, emotional outbursts, and unresolved tension. The footage, though unverified, was dissected in minute detail by fans and commentators, each interpretation adding to the drama. Supporters of Rasheeda framed the alleged confrontation as evidence of her unwavering loyalty, while detractors argued it revealed cracks in her public persona, deepening the suspense and emotional stakes. Rasheeda's public composure contrasted with the emotional intensity of her private life. Subtle sign-strained smiles, pauses in interviews, and quiet discussions with Kirk hinted at the personal cost of the ongoing conflict. The combination of relentless social media attention, media scrutiny, and private tension created a high-pressure environment where every action and statement had amplified significance. Rasheeda's ability to maintain composure while asserting control over the narrative highlighted her emotional intelligence and strategic acumen, reinforcing her authority both publicly and privately. Michelle's calculated ambiguity continued to fuel speculation. Her strategic positioning, filled with subtle provocations and hints of hidden knowledge, ensured that anticipation remained high for the next revelation. Fans debated whether there would be a live confrontation, whether undisclosed tensions could reshape alliances, or whether secret information might emerge to alter the trajectory of the feud. The uncertainty maintained suspense, compelling the audience to remain engaged and attentive to every new development, comment, or gesture. Media amplification played a critical role in escalating the drama. Influencers, entertainment commentators, and viral content creators contributed to a cycle of speculation, reaction, and analysis. Clips of interviews, reaction videos, and commentary posts were circulated widely, often blurring the line between verified information and rumor. Supporters of Rasheeda interpreted these developments as confirmation of her integrity and loyalty, while Michelle's followers speculated on hidden tensions or possible vulnerabilities. This amplification created a feedback loop that further intensified the feud, ensuring that every move by either party became a focal point of public attention. Despite the chaos, Rasheeda and Kirk's relationship remained a focal point. Moments of private affection, public gestures of unity, and social media interactions reinforced the perception of a strong, resilient partnership. Each interaction became symbolic, conveying loyalty and mutual support to fans and observers alike. These moments not only reinforced Rasheeda's narrative but also served as a stabilizing force in a highly volatile environment, highlighting the delicate balance between personal integrity and public performance. The unfolding saga demonstrated the intricate interplay between personal conflict, public perception, and strategic communication. Every statement, post, and gesture contributed to the larger narrative, shaping public perception and influencing alliances. Rasheeda's strategic approach emphasized loyalty, strength, and control, providing continuity amidst the turbulence of rumors, leaks, and media scrutiny. Fans remained highly engaged, analyzing each development and anticipating future twists, ensuring that the narrative continued to evolve with sustained suspense and emotional intensity. Even in moments of apparent calm, the weight of the conflict persisted. Rasheeda and Kirk had to manage not only their private emotions but also the constant gaze of a public eager for drama, confrontation, and revelation. Every word, action, and social media post carried amplified significance, influencing both fan perception and media interpretation. The narrative had grown into a complex story of emotional resilience, strategic maneuvering, and public scrutiny, captivating audiences and sustaining engagement across multiple platforms. The stakes remained extraordinarily high. Every interaction had the potential to alter perceptions, create new conflicts, or shift alliances. Rasheeda's steadfast commitment to her marriage, her strategic handling of public appearances, and her measured responses to provocation demonstrated both personal strength and media savvy. The ongoing feud, fueled by speculation, insider leaks, and relentless public attention, ensured that fans remained captivated. Debates continued unabated, and anticipation for future developments remained intense. Amid the chaos, Rasheeda maintained her focus on loyalty and integrity. Each public display of unity with Kirk, carefully managed social media post, and measured interview reinforced her narrative of strength and resilience. Fans, captivated by the drama and emotionally invested in the outcome, continued to analyze, discuss, and anticipate the next developments. The intensity, unpredictability, and layered conflicts of the feud created a story that was immersive, emotionally charged, and far from reaching resolution, guaranteeing continued public fascination and media coverage. The ongoing conflict highlighted the tension between private vulnerability and public performance. Rasheeda and Kirk's navigation of these pressures demonstrated the high stakes involved in balancing personal emotion with strategic image management. Every word, gesture, and post carried consequences, influencing public perception and shaping fan engagement. The saga had evolved into a multifaceted narrative of strategy, loyalty, and emotional complexity, captivating audiences and ensuring that every new development would be scrutinized, debated, and passionately discussed. Through all the drama, Rasheeda's resilience and strategic intelligence remained evident. Her ability to maintain control over her narrative, protect her marriage, and assert emotional strength underscored her central role in the unfolding saga. The feud, driven by speculation, public scrutiny, and personal dynamics, continued to captivate, ensuring sustained engagement, heightened suspense, and relentless discussion. Fans remained invested, eagerly awaiting each twist, revelation, and confrontation, keeping the drama at the forefront of public conversation and media attention. Even in quieter moments, the ongoing tension was palpable. Rasheeda and Kirk continued to navigate a landscape defined by private emotion and public expectation. Every word, post, and interaction contributed to the larger narrative, shaping both audience perception and fan loyalty. The story had become a multi-layered, emotionally charged saga of conflict, strategy, and resilience, captivating audiences and maintaining engagement across all platforms. The feud, far from over, promised continued twists, heightened drama, and intense public scrutiny, keeping fans enthralled and eager for what would happen next. The conflict between Rasheeda and K. Michelle had now evolved into a saga that seemed to consume every facet of their public and private lives. Each day brought a new development, whether a cryptic post, an unexpected interview, or a fan-captured interaction that fueled speculation and reignited discussions. Social media continued to act as the primary arena for this drama, where every gesture, comment, or subtle change in demeanor was dissected, debated, and shared. Hashtags proliferated, trending topics emerged and disappeared within hours, and reaction videos amassed millions of views, all creating a relentless cycle of anticipation and engagement. Fans were polarized. Some championed Rasheeda's loyalty and resilience, while others analyzed K. Michelle's every move for hidden leverage or strategic provocation, creating a narrative that was as much about perception as it was about reality. Behind closed doors, Rasheeda and Kirk's relationship faced pressures that were both intense and persistent. Arguments once considered trivial now carried amplified significance, as even minor disagreements could be misinterpreted by a vigilant public eager to spot cracks. During a particularly tense night, Rasheeda confided in Kirk about the mental strain of managing both her emotions and public perception. "We can't let them manipulate how we feel," she whispered, exhaustion and resolve evident in her tone. Kirk, sensing the weight of the situation, offered reassurance, acknowledging that their unity was crucial not only for their private life, but also to withstand the scrutiny of fans, media, and detractors. These moments of intimacy underscored the profound tension between their personal reality and the public spectacle, highlighting the delicate balance they had to maintain. K. Michelle's influence in perpetuating the drama remained strong and deliberate. Her social media presence, punctuated by cryptic statements and carefully worded posts, kept audiences guessing and maintained suspense. Allegedly leaked insider information and anonymous tips circulated online, implying secret confrontations, hidden tensions, and undisclosed grievances. Each new tidbit was dissected meticulously by fans and commentators, fueling debate over authenticity, intent, and possible outcomes. The ambiguity surrounding K. Michelle's actions sustained engagement, ensuring that the feud remained a constantly evolving narrative, compelling fans to follow every development closely. Family and close friends found themselves caught in the crossfire of public attention and private loyalty. Rasheeda's relatives, concerned about both her well-being and the family's public image, navigated heated discussions and complex dynamics. Private disagreements sometimes spilled into public spaces, captured by fans or media, adding layers of tension and magnifying the stakes of even the smallest conflict. Friends faced similar challenges, balancing their support for Rasheeda with the need to protect themselves from potential backlash. These dynamics created an intricate web of interpersonal pressures, where every interaction could serve as a flashpoint or a bridge to reconciliation, adding depth and unpredictability to the ongoing narrative. Sudden twists and sensational revelations kept the feud from stagnating. Rumors of clandestine meetings, behind-the-scenes confrontations, and covert exchanges spread rapidly, often amplified by viral posts and media speculation. A particularly sensational leak suggested that Rasheeda and K. Michelle had a tense, private confrontation at a high-profile event, with accusations, emotional outbursts, and ultimatums reportedly exchanged. Although unverified, the story fueled widespread discussion online, with supporters of Rasheeda emphasizing her integrity and critics interpreting the event as evidence of underlying vulnerabilities. Each rumor, whether accurate or fabricated, heightened suspense, ensuring continuous fan engagement and sustained media attention. The emotional strain on Rasheeda was evident in subtle, yet revealing ways. Despite her composed public persona, glimpses of fatigue and tension appeared in interviews, social media stories, and private conversations with Kirk. The combination of relentless public scrutiny, social media pressure, and personal stakes created an environment of high tension, demanding both resilience and strategy. Rasheeda's ability to maintain composure, articulate measured responses, and strategically navigate public perception underscored her emotional intelligence, reinforcing her authority in the ongoing saga while protecting her personal and professional reputation. Michelle's careful ambiguity and strategic provocations continued to heighten uncertainty and suspense. Her statements left room for interpretation, keeping audiences engaged and eager for new revelations. Fans speculated about potential confrontations, hidden truths, and undisclosed tensions that could alter the trajectory of the feud. This sense of unpredictability sustained engagement, ensuring that each new interaction, statement, or post would be analyzed intensely and discussed passionately across social media platforms. Media amplification intensified the stakes of the feud. Influencers, entertainment commentators, and viral content creators played pivotal roles in spreading rumors, commentary, and speculation, often blurring the lines between verified information and rumor. Supporters of Rasheeda interpreted these developments as confirmation of her resilience and loyalty, while Michelle's audience scrutinized each narrative for potential vulnerabilities or strategic maneuvering. This media-driven amplification created a feedback loop of engagement, controversy, and public speculation, elevating the conflict to a multi-layered spectacle with wide-reaching impact. Despite the chaotic public scrutiny, moments of unity between Rasheeda and Kirk offered reassurance to fans and reinforced their narrative of loyalty. Publicly visible displays of affection, candid photographs, and carefully staged social media interactions projected an image of strength and resilience, symbolically affirming their commitment amidst the ongoing tension. These gestures not only bolstered Rasheeda's public persona but also served as anchors in a landscape fraught with uncertainty, reinforcing fan support and maintaining the credibility of her narrative. The feud highlighted the complex interplay between private conflict, public perception, and strategic communication. Every post, comment, and action contributed to a multi-layered narrative, shaping fan perception and influencing alliances within the public sphere. Rasheeda's approach emphasized continuity, loyalty, and emotional control, providing stability amidst rumors, leaks, and relentless speculation. Audiences remained highly engaged, analyzing each development and eagerly anticipating the next twist, ensuring that the story's suspense and emotional intensity remained elevated. Even during brief moments of calm, the persistent weight of scrutiny and tension was evident. Rasheeda and Kirk continually navigated personal emotions, public expectations, and strategic image management. Every interaction carried amplified significance, influencing both fan perception and media interpretation. The saga had evolved into a rich, multifaceted narrative of resilience, strategy, and emotional complexity, captivating audiences and sustaining engagement across platforms. With no immediate resolution in sight, stakes continued to escalate, as minor developments or misinterpretations could shift the narrative, affect alliances, or spark renewed conflict. Rasheeda's steadfast commitment to her marriage, strategic public presence, and measured responses to provocation underscored her role as the central figure capable of navigating the complexities of the feud. The interplay of rumor, speculation, and public scrutiny ensured that fan engagement remained intense. Debates continued fervently, and anticipation for future developments stayed at a peak level. Amidst all the turmoil, Rasheeda remained focused on loyalty, integrity, and strategic control. Public displays of unity with Kirk, carefully orchestrated social media posts, and measured responses highlighted both resilience and thoughtful narrative management. Fans remained captivated by the evolving drama, invested emotionally in the outcomes, and eager to interpret every new development. The complexity, unpredictability, and emotional intensity of the feud ensured that the story was immersive, compelling, and far from reaching any resolution, guaranteeing continued fascination and media attention. The conflict underscored the tension between personal vulnerability and the demands of public perception. Rasheeda and Kirk's management of these pressures reflected high-stakes navigation, where every gesture and statement could influence public interpretation and fan loyalty. The narrative had grown into a complex story of emotional depth, strategic planning, and public engagement, drawing audiences into the intricacies of loyalty, betrayal, and resilience, and ensuring sustained intrigue. Rasheeda's capacity for resilience and strategic communication remained evident throughout. Her command of her narrative, protection of her marriage, and consistent emotional composure reinforced her central role in the ongoing saga, fueled by speculation, public attention, and interpersonal dynamics. The feud continued to captivate, maintaining suspense, engagement, and media focus. Fans followed each twist, revelation, and confrontation with intense interest, ensuring that the drama remained a dominant topic across platforms. Even in quieter interludes, the intensity of the feud was palpable. Rasheeda and Kirk navigated a complex landscape shaped by private emotion and public expectation. Every word, action, and interaction contributed to the overarching narrative, influencing perceptions and guiding fan loyalty. The ongoing saga had transformed into a multidimensional story of conflict, resilience, and strategy, captivating audiences and sustaining engagement. With unpredictable twists and heightened drama, The feud promised further developments, ensuring fans would remain intensely invested in the unfolding events. The tension between Rasheeda and K. Michelle reached new heights as every development seemed to escalate the feud further. Rumors, unverified leaks, and cryptic social media posts fueled speculation and kept audiences on edge. Each new post was dissected meticulously by fans, who debated motivations, intentions, and potential consequences. Hashtags trended, reaction videos amassed millions of views, and online discussions dominated forums, creating a relentless cycle of anticipation and public scrutiny. Fans were polarized. Some staunchly defended Rasheeda's loyalty and resilience, while others analyzed K. Michelle's maneuvers for evidence of hidden truths or strategic provocation. The conflict had transcended personal grievance and evolved into a full-blown spectacle of perception, loyalty, and emotional warfare. Privately, Rasheeda and Kirk were forced to navigate the extreme pressures of the public eye. Arguments that might once have been minor were now magnified, with the potential to be misinterpreted and broadcast across social media. One evening, after a day filled with interviews and public commentary, Rasheeda sat with Kirk, expressing the strain the situation was placing on them. "Every word, every move is under a microscope. It's exhausting," she confessed, her voice tinged with fatigue and frustration. Kirk, aware of the stakes, offered support, emphasizing that their unity and mutual understanding were crucial to surviving the intense scrutiny. These private conversations highlighted the delicate balance between maintaining personal emotional stability and managing public perception, underscoring the profound complexity of their situation. Meanwhile, K. Michelle continued to cultivate suspense with calculated social media posts and interviews. Her cryptic statements and strategic insinuations kept fans guessing, maintaining a high level of engagement. Leaked information, purportedly from insiders, hinted at secret confrontations and unresolved tensions, prompting fans to speculate endlessly about the details. Each allegation, whether verified or not, added layers of intrigue, ensuring that the public remained captivated and the narrative continued to evolve unpredictably. The ambiguity surrounding K. Michelle's tactics intensified anticipation for potential confrontations, leaving fans and media outlets in a state of heightened alert. Family members and close friends were drawn into the turbulence, balancing loyalty with the need to manage public appearances. Rasheeda's relatives frequently engaged in private discussions about the impact of social media speculation on family dynamics and reputation. Occasionally, these conversations spilled into public spaces, further fueling rumors and fan theories. Friends also faced the challenge of maintaining allegiance while avoiding entanglement in public scrutiny. The pressure to navigate both personal loyalty and public perception created an environment where every interaction was charged with significance, heightening tension and drama. Sudden revelations and unexpected twists continued to fuel the narrative. Rumors of clandestine meetings, private arguments, and secret exchanges kept the public engaged and speculative. A particularly sensational report suggested that Rasheeda and K. Michelle had a private confrontation during a high-profile event, involving heated accusations and emotional outbursts. The details, though unverified, spread rapidly online, with supporters of Rasheeda framing it as evidence of her unwavering loyalty and critics interpreting it as a sign of vulnerability or hidden tension. This combination of rumor, speculation, and public reaction amplified suspense and kept fans deeply engaged in every facet of the ongoing feud. The emotional toll on Rasheeda became increasingly evident. While she projected confidence in public, subtle cues drained smiles. Momentary hesitations during interviews and private discussions with Kirk revealed the weight of the ongoing conflict. The interplay of relentless social media scrutiny, intense media coverage, and personal emotional pressure created a high-stakes environment. Rasheeda's ability to maintain composure, navigate public perception, and strategically respond to provocations demonstrated both emotional intelligence and strategic acumen, reinforcing her credibility and resilience in the public eye. K. Michelle's ambiguity continued to generate speculation and tension. Her strategic hints and veiled provocations ensured that audiences remained engaged, wondering what revelations or confrontations might occur next. Fans debated potential outcomes, anticipating live confrontations, undisclosed conversations, or shocking disclosures that could shift the dynamics of the feud. This uncertainty maintained high levels of engagement and suspense, ensuring that every new development became a focal point for analysis and discussion. Media coverage further amplified the stakes. High-profile influencers, entertainment commentators, and viral content creators contributed to a continuous cycle of speculation, reaction, and interpretation. Clips, reaction videos, and commentary posts spread rapidly, often blurring the line between verified facts and rumor. Rasheeda's supporters viewed these developments as confirmation of her integrity and loyalty, while Michelle's followers analyzed them for indications of strategic positioning or hidden vulnerabilities. This amplification created a feedback loop that intensified engagement, public scrutiny, and emotional stakes, turning every action by either party into a newsworthy event. Despite the chaos, Rasheeda and Kirk's relationship remained a critical anchor. Public displays of affection, candid photos, and carefully orchestrated social media interactions reinforced their unity and resilience. These gestures provided symbolic proof of loyalty and commitment, reassuring fans and serving as a stabilizing influence amid the turbulence. By consistently projecting strength and mutual support, Rasheeda and Kirk managed to maintain credibility and narrative control, even in the face of relentless public and media pressure. The feud illustrated the intricate dynamics between private conflict, public perception, and strategic communication. Every statement, post, and interaction contributed to shaping public understanding, influencing fan alliances, and dictating narrative trajectory. Rasheeda's approach emphasized consistency, emotional control, and loyalty, providing a stabilizing framework amid rumors, leaks, and speculation. Fans remained invested, dissecting each development and eagerly awaiting the next twist, ensuring the ongoing drama maintained intensity and engagement. Even in moments of relative calm, the weight of scrutiny remained palpable. Rasheeda and Kirk continued to navigate the pressures of private emotion and public expectation, recognizing that every gesture and statement carried amplified significance. The narrative had evolved into a complex story of emotional resilience, strategic maneuvering, and public perception management, captivating audiences and sustaining engagement across multiple platforms. Stakes continued to rise as minor events or misinterpretations had the potential to reshape the narrative, shift alliances, or spark renewed conflict. Rasheeda's consistent approach, emphasizing loyalty, measured responses, and strategic public presentation highlighted her capacity to manage complex dynamics effectively. The combination of rumors, speculation, and public attention ensured that audience engagement remained intense. Debates remained heated, and anticipation for new developments stayed high. Amid the relentless drama, Rasheeda's focus on loyalty, integrity, and narrative control was unwavering. Each public display of unity with Kirk, carefully considered social media post, and measured response reinforced her credibility and resilience. Fans remained captivated, emotionally invested, and eager to analyze each new development. The conflict's unpredictability, emotional intensity, and layered complexity ensured that the saga remained immersive, compelling, and far from resolution, guaranteeing continued public fascination and media coverage. The feud highlighted the tension between personal vulnerability and public perception. Rasheeda and Kirk's management of these pressures required careful navigation, as every gesture, word, and post could influence public opinion and fan loyalty. The story evolved into a multi-dimensional narrative of strategy, resilience, and emotional depth, captivating audiences and sustaining engagement across platforms. Rasheeda's emotional intelligence and strategic control remained evident throughout. Her consistent narrative management, protection of her marriage, and public composure reinforced her central role in the unfolding saga. Driven by speculation, public scrutiny, and personal dynamics, the feud captivated fans, maintaining suspense, engagement, and intense media attention. Audiences followed each revelation, confrontation, and interaction with keen interest, ensuring the drama remained a dominant topic across multiple platforms. Even during quieter moments, the intensity of the feud persisted. Rasheeda and Kirk navigated the intersecting pressures of personal emotion and public expectation, understanding that every word and action shaped the narrative and influenced fan perception. The ongoing saga had become a layered, emotionally charged story of conflict, loyalty, and resilience, captivating audiences and maintaining engagement. With unpredictable twists, heightened drama, and continued public scrutiny, the feud promised further developments, ensuring fans remained deeply invested in the unfolding story. And there you have it, the whirlwind saga of Rasheeda and Michelle. A story filled with loyalty, betrayal, and high-stakes drama that keeps fans on the edge of their seats. The twists, the confrontations, and the emotional rollercoaster of private struggles played out under the unforgiving gaze of the public eye show just how unpredictable and intense this feud has become. While Rasheeda has stood her ground and reaffirmed her loyalty to Kirk, K. Michelle's strategic provocations ensure that nothing is ever truly settled. Every post, every comment, every public gesture holds the potential to spark the next shocking revelation, leaving fans questioning what might come next. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Was Rasheeda right to fire back so boldly? Will K. Michelle escalate further? Or has Rasheeda's unwavering stance finally put an end to the speculation? The drama isn't over, and your voice matters in this unfolding story. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, share your theories, and let us know which side you're rooting for. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've been captivated by this roller coaster. And subscribe to stay up to date on every explosive development in this saga. Stay tuned, because in a story like this, one unexpected twist can change everything. And remember, your opinions, reactions, and insights are just as much a part of the conversation as the drama itself. Engage, share, and keep the discussion alive. You never know what will happen next in this high-stakes reality world.